Greetings, dear viewers. Anthony on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film with a new episode of the Terra Venture Podcast with Terra Venture Podcast episode 338, presented by my Morphin Megaverse Power Rangers Facebook group. Concluding Zord themed week because I was like thinking about Megazords and Carrier Zords, Ultra Zords and stuff for the week. I was thinking about going back, looking, with all the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers centric topics I want to talk about before we get into celebrating any anniversaries for any of the older seasons, and with Dino Fury Season 2 on the way, I thought it would be a great time to talk about something Mighty Morphin Power Rangers related once more. This time revolving around Tommy's Dragonzord when he was the original Green Ranger. It crossed to my mind thinking back to, as currently at the time I'm recording this video, I'm going back rewatching every episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, particularly the first two seasons of it. You can watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers now available on YouTube on the official Power Rangers YouTube channel if you like, or if you want to watch it on Netflix because, Netflix still has all MMPR up there, or you can grab a DVD and watch it whenever you felt like. But I was also thinking back to, like, with all of the hullabaloo with the Lightning Collection and with the Zord Ascension project about to start with the Zap Dino Megazord coming out in August, it raised the question when I was just discussing and bringing up a bit about Dragonzord whenever we're going to get our hands on a new Dragonzord of sort toy. And I was just thinking about Dragonzord while I was rewatching all these old episodes of Mighty Morphin and thinking back where we last saw the Dragonzord. So I do want to go into a little overview of the Dragonzord orally, just to bring up where we were since Greenwood Evil Part 5 all the way into its final on-screen last seen appearance in Part 3 of Return of the Green Ranger. Although I may bring up about like the Dragonzord and its appearance in the Boom Studios comics universe of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or its use as a playable Zord in Power Rangers Legacy Wars, or anything like that. But I mostly want to talk about the Dragonzord, regarding the TV show, the Prime Universe of Power Rangers, and where we last saw it. So the Dragonzord had its debut back in Season 1 in the 5th and final episode of the Evil Green Ranger story. That being Part 5, Breaking the Spell. When Rita, after she had succeeded in defeating the Power Rangers, having the Green Ranger, Scorpina, and Goldar take down the Megazord with the solar eclipse, draining the energy out of the Megazord, the next plan would have Tommy, as her evil Green Ranger at the time, take control of the Dragonzord to destroy the Rangers. When the Rangers were Zordless, if you will, they didn't know what they would stand a chance with Tommy having his own Zord, which would of course rival the other Zords. With Dragonzord being basically Power Rangers' response to Godzilla. And when the Dragonzord did fight the Dinozords, mostly the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord for the very first time, Dragonzord was basically an even match with the Tyrannosaurus, given that Tommy and Jason's Zords are very up there with one another, and they were both similar themed Zords. They were both Zords that had tails. They were very dragon-like of sorts. Although the Tyrannosaurus is the king of all dinosaurs, the Dragonzord isn't really much of a dinosaur. The Dragonzord was just some serpent, such Zord that they had laying around somewhere, and we never even really knew about the mystery. What on earth how did Rita even obtain the Dragonzord or the Dragon Dagger or the Green Ranger's Power Coin? We'll never know in the main universe, but we know in different versions of the Power Rangers mythos, Rita somehow had the Green Ranger's power, as seen in the 2017 movie, but we never saw what the Dragonzord would have looked like in that universe, or even in the comics, I believe, and even, of course, in that Zordon of Eltar fan film. But we're mostly, again, talking about the TV show universe. once Tommy was broken from Rita's spell, he joins the team. The Dragonzord would have alternate modes, being in battle mode with the Mastodon, Saber-Tooth Tiger, and Triceratops Zords that make the Mega Dragonzord battle mode. It can also combine with the Megazord, when Titanus is around to do the Ultra Zord, the Mighty Ultra Zord, for the very first time. Dragonzord can function with with all three Zords, the Dragonzord, the Dino Megazord, and Titanus. You make the Ultra Zord with that combo. But and as time went on, and when Tommy was starting to lose his Green Ranger powers, Tommy would pass on a bit of his power to the other Rangers for the remaining initial 40, the last of the initial 40 episodes that MMPR Season 1 was supposed to be for. And then, once we get the Doomsday, you have the Ultra Zord. Dragonzord was with the Rangers. Jason would have the Dragon Shield in their initial, was supposed to be their final battle with Rita in Goldar during Doomsday. And then, many episodes later after that, Tommy comes back to regain his powers of the Green Ranger. But this time it was going to be for a limited temporary measure, because I don't even know how long Tommy will still have the Green Ranger power. Then you go into the second season of Power Rangers, the Dragonzord. Well, again, once when the Rangers had their Zords upgraded from the Dinozords to the even more powerful Thunder Zords, literally. Dragonzord can work well, can team up well with the Thunder Megazord, but, again, given what they had to deal with the Sentai footage of Zoo Ranger and Die Ranger at the time for the second season, knowing to the fact that the Dragon Ranger, that being Burai, Tommy's counterpart from Zoo Ranger, had already died near, right around the end of the Sentai. So they couldn't be able to make this stuff work around the footage. I know they couldn't be able to get the Dragonzord's costume, because, again, Sentai by the time of the second season of Power Rangers, Die Ranger by the second season, the footage for Die Ranger was already going to be recent for Saban to use, and, they wanted to figure out a new way to keep the show going. The Dragonzord, again, was via mostly some Zoo 2 shots and mostly Zoo 2 footage. But the Thunder Megazord, that being Dyreno, was totally brand new footage for the time. So they couldn't be able to do any new footage of the Dragonzord. They couldn't even get a costume of it, because Sentai by 1994, around the second season of Power Rangers, Sentai had already moved on to Kaku Ranger. So there was no way they could have done some original footage of the Dragonzord or so, or, again, it wasn't even in the show's budget to do so. That's why they had to deal with the difficulty of trying too hard to try to make some of the shots of the Dragonzord teaming up with Thunder Megazord work. When Tommy was already losing the Green Ranger powers for good by the two-part pre-Ultimate episode, Green No More, it would be the last major time Tommy would control the Dragonzord with his failing Green Ranger power, courtesy of Lord Zed succeeding at defeating the Green Ranger at last in his final battle. After Tommy lost the Green Ranger powers, Dragonzord was decommissioned for any further use, until way later, after going through all the the changes with Tommy becoming the White Ranger, Jason, Zach, and Trini being replaced with Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, and then Rita and Zed got married. After the wedding, then you go into the three-parter where we last saw the Dragonzord in action. And this is only in the, especially the final time we'll see it on screen in, again, part 3 of Return of the Green Ranger, where they had to figure out a way to edit around Dragonzord facing the Tiger Zord to make it look like the Tiger Zord was fighting the Dragonzord, with the Tommy's clone, basically Tom Oliver, courtesy of Wizard of Deception. Thank you, Rita, for that. To take down the fight, with Tommy fighting as the White Ranger fighting, Tom, the Green Ranger. So that would make sense why we had this Green Ranger versus White Ranger stuff. Although, again, Dragonzord, we last saw him, Dragonzord was never really destroyed. Out of all of the original Zords, pre-Ninja Quest, and even post Ninja Quest, Dragonzord was never destroyed. And when Tommy took Tom Oliver to, into the past, he had to stay there, and have his Green Ranger, have the Green Ranger power there with him. So, therefore, that was like really the last time we actually saw the Green Ranger, the Dragonzord. I mean, and I'm just like wondering, okay, well, but even though Tommy had already moved on, Tommy in our world had already moved on from being the Green Ranger and had, onto the White Ranger, and with that era of him as the White Ranger with the Tiger Zord. So, and then you go into season 3 again. There was a little bit of a cameo of the Green Ranger via a ghost back in the 3-parter Master Vial in the metallic armor, when Tommy was seeing, illusions of the other Rangers plus the Green Ranger, his former self as the Green Ranger with Rocky, Adam, Aisha, and Billy in Master Vial in the metallic armor in part 2. But we never really got an indication where's Dragonzord laying, but again. So, in some occurrence, when I was just thinking about, afterwards with the Dragonzord out of commission, because again, Titanus and the Dragonzord are one of the many Zords from the original first season that was never destroyed. But we know that the Thunder Zords, with Thunder Megazord being the evolved form of the original Dino Zords, they were destroyed by Rito in part 1 of Ninja Quest. But Dragonzord was never destroyed, so it has to be laying somewhere in the deep depths of the sea of Angel Grove and its lake. And I don't even know where on earth would Dragonzord be. I mean, Dragonzord is probably somewhere in a really deep resting place, although that as time went on with the Power Rangers universe, after Tommy was no longer the White Ranger, and when Tommy was a Red Ranger twice in Zeo and Turbo, and then when he retired being a Power Ranger midway during Turbo, and then when we didn't see Tommy again until Dino Thunder, and even though with Dino Thunder when he became the Black Ranger, and then thinking back to Fighting Spirit. Now, when Tommy was facing all his past Ranger forms in Dino Thunder's Fighting Spirit episode, a personal favorite episode of that season, by the way, I really felt that, thinking back to when we got to Tommy's vision with him as the Green Ranger, yeah, Silver Stripe notwithstanding, it would have been some inclination that when we saw the Green Ranger, Tommy face the Green Ranger in his vision in Fighting Spirit, it would be possible the Green Ranger in his vision probably still had the Dragonzord laying around somewhere. After all, he still had the dagger, and as much as I didn't like the flute tune to the Dragon Dagger in Fighting Spirit, well, again, courtesy of Disney for butchering Power Rangers for that, I guess it would hint that he may have the Dragonzord. Well, again, it was only in this vision and nothing really more, but I don't even know exactly how on Earth Dragonzord would still be around. And then you go into Power Rangers, Super Mega Force. When Tommy got his Green Ranger power again, this is before Super Ninja Steel. When Tommy got his Green Ranger power again, in time for Legendary Battle in Power Rangers Super Mega Force, he had, as much as I didn't like how he had his Legend Chef of the White Ranger, but when you go into the actual final bit of Super Mega Force, he shows up as the Green Ranger. And I'm just like, is it an indication that he found Dragonzord and got it back again? But again, Tommy couldn't use Dragonzord to fend off the remaining members of the Armada with the other Legendary Rangers to finish off. So, but one of the other occurrences that I wish could have happened when you fast forward into the next anniversary team up, that being Super Ninja Steel with Dimensions in Danger in Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. Here's one of the things that I wish could have happened. When Tommy got his Master Morpher in Dimensions in Danger, where he can turn into all his past forms, the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Red Zeo Ranger, and the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. Is it really possible with his Zord, with this Master Morpher, that he can summon all his past Zords? But of course, when Tommy became when he turned into the White Ranger to finish off the anniversary team up, he summoned the Falcon Zord because, again, last we checked was at the end of the 3rd season of Power Rangers. The Falcon Zord is one of the many remaining Ninja Zords that were never destroyed, but we never really knew the fate of what happened to the Ninja Zords or the Shogun Zords. But I'll discuss that next time. But when Tommy before he was about to turn into the White Ranger again, but with the Falcon Zord power, I kind of wish that in Dimensions in Danger, he was still in the Green Ranger suit. And he should have used Dragonzord to finish off Lord Draven. That would have been cool, wouldn't it? If they could have, like, recreated Dragonzord in CGI, because how cool would it have been if they created the Dragonzord in CG? But yeah, it would still look cheap because given Neo Saban PR, CGI and all. But, as much as I mind the Falcon Zord, and at least it had better CGI detail on it than, Falcon Zord in the first Power Rangers movie. But I just felt like the Dragonzord should have been the better candidate to finish off Draven in that episode, because Tommy had his Green Ranger power, again, via the Master Morpher. He should have used the Dragonzord to finish off Lord Draven, because Falcon Zord, what could that Falcon Zord do? Yeah, we know Falcon Zord can shoot, rockets out of its wings, the red part of its wings, like Dragonzord, with the, missiles coming out of its fingernails. But the Dragonzord, I wish, should have been the better way to finish off the 25th anniversary episode. Tommy still had his Dragonzord, could have still had his Dragonzord, like I said, and could have finished him off. Because it's one of the many Zords that Tommy had during his time as a Ranger that has never been destroyed. So when you think about it in account, the only Zords Tommy still had, since he had his Master Morpher, you had the Dragonzord, you had Falcon Zord, you had the White Shogun Zord, but, the Z05 Zord, the Super Zeo, the Red Super Zeo Zord, and the Brachio Zord when he was the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. Although Brachio is just a carrier Zord that just carries the other individual Dino Zords for the Dino Thunder Rangers. The Brachio Zord wouldn't stand a chance against Draven. So I just felt like Dragonzord could have been it to finish him off. I've always wondered about this because I was, with conspicuous thoughts for anyone who's potentially was thinking about this and wondering where Dragonzord is now. I guess it is in a resting place. It doesn't want to be summoned anymore, even though Tommy doesn't have like the original power of the Green Ranger anymore, but just only ways of the Green Ranger in some essence, like through like the Master Morpher or via the Ranger Key in Super Mega Force when all the Legendary Rangers showed up to help Troy and the other Mega Force Rangers in the final 2 minutes of Legendary Battle. To cap off the end of Megaforce as a whole. And again, but Dragonzord we know was last seen in Return of the Green Ranger, part 3. But it just made me wonder where it could have been after all these years. And I bet Tommy's doppelganger in the past that he sent into the past, Tom Oliver, may still have the Green Ranger's original power, which was just a duplicate from the Wizard of Deception. And Tom Oliver still has the Green Ranger power somehow, and also the Dragonzord is somewhere laying around, but again, Tom Oliver had to send the Dragonzord back into the sea. But if he were to have a transporter device, a interdimensional device to go back into the present day and get Tommy to get the Dragonzord again, and then when Tommy was like we never really knew the mystery of the Master Morpher, and I'll discuss a bit of Dimensions in Danger in detail on the podcast next time as opposed to my fan commentary, and then my little fan theory about what I just said in this episode, what I wish would have happened if Tommy, when he went and got his Master Morpher created in time for the anniversary episode, and how he got the Master Morpher to have all his Ranger forms together. Like either he made the Morpher himself, or did he find Ninjor off screen in the events before the anniversary episode to get the Morpher, so that way the Master Morpher can have all of his old Zords linked to his old powers. So whenever he wants to feel like summoning any of his old Zords, like Dragonzord or the Falconzord or the Brachio, whatever, the Brachiozord, and and figure whether if he should summon any of those Zords again. But depending on what happens when we do get to Power Rangers' big 30th anniversary, well, depending on our current situation right now, next year and when they start filming the 30th anniversary, if they will bring back any past Rangers, or just limit the amount of Rangers that they would bring back in return for the 30th anniversary. But I know there's people who are sick of seeing Tommy every team up episode and want to see anyone else from MMPR come back. But Tommy needs to come back because he is one of the, if you know, love him or hate him still, he is one of the most popular, arguably, Power Ranger of all time. But if Tommy comes back, even if you just only have JDF dub, just voiceover, if they bring in Tommy in the suit as the Green Ranger or the White Ranger for MMPR representation for the anniversary, or not, but, because, again, it's going to be possible bringing back a lot of past actors given the situation with, right now. So I feel like it's going to be impossible having Dragonzord come back if we have a much grander, bigger evil than Lord Draven in the Super Ninja Steel anniversary episode. I would like to see how they would have took a stab at bringing Dragonzord back. We saw the Falconzord's return, but, I kind of wish the Dragonzord should have showed up. After I was just watching the Dimensions in Danger, it made me reflect back that Tommy did use his Green Ranger powers in full via that Morpher once again. But I just kind of wish that instead of summoning the Falconzord while it's the White Ranger, he should have still stayed the Green Ranger. Like I said, I know I'm repeating myself a little bit. He should have stayed the Green Ranger to finish up Dimensions in Danger, that whole 22 minutes of that episode, and summoned the Dragonzord with the Master Morpher and took out Lord Draven, which would have been an epic, great fight. Because Falconzord, as much as I like it, Falconzord was only there just to catch one of Lord Draven's final arrows to break into the dimensional barrier of all the Power Rangers per their dimensions. Prime Universe, RPM Universe, Dinosaurs Universe. But personally, the Dragonzord probably should have, it would have been easier if the Dragonzord should have just shot that. Dragonzord should have some great aim to shoot out Lord Draven's last arrow with its missiles from its fingers, and should have shot that arrow and then did a brawling fight with the Dragon. Dragonzord would have had a brawling fight with Draven if they wanted to, and that would have been great. Because, of course, you don't need to use Sentai footage, because the footage of Dragonzord from Zoo Ranger is too old looking to fit for an HD season like Super Ninja Steel anyway. But they could have did something around it or something, and, just make it completely original footage. And Dragonzord, even if it's in crappy CG, just go for it. And maybe the next time we bring back any old past Zords of MMPR that wasn't destroyed back for another a big anniversary episode of Power Rangers. Even though they already brought back the Dino Megazord and Beast Morphers team up with all the Dino Rangers, but they also brought back the original Megazord first time in so long, but that was probably through spirit form, given that the original Dino Zords were already destroyed via the Thunder Zords back in, again, Ninja Quest from Season 3. I know I sound like I'm overthinking this a little bit, but I was just thinking about Dragonzord and where it's been after all these years. Hopefully, in the next season, anniversary or so, if they bring back any old past Zords, I hope they bring back Dragonzord somehow, because it's been dearly missed for so long. Because, again, Tommy, he got the Master Morpher. He has his Green Ranger powers back in full again via the Morpher, and even if it's spiritually. It would be nice if they showed the Dragonzord one last time again. Who knows? So those are my thoughts on, Dragonzord, where is it now, and my little fan theory, even though I repeated some bits of it. What do you guys feel about this? Where is Dragonzord now? And I know it's, when we last already know it canonically, But if it did come back, probably for the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers for a future team-up episode, or potentially in one of the movies tied with the next season that Hasbro is doing when they do what they say they're going to do with Power Rangers next year after Dino Fury, and when we get into the 30th anniversary. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'm all for now. Anyway, guys, that's it until, next time, until my next episode of the podcast.